Turn it up. This is a
First Fam Radio premiere.
exclusive.
Do you think marriage today is an old concept, being that dating is careless now? Let that sink in. I want y'all to think about that and just pay attention to where we're going with this. You know what I'm saying? For real. It's an old concept. There's women out there breaking their necks to find a good man. There's good men out there breaking their necks to find a good woman. And on both sides, everybody's dating with a purpose and are dating without a purpose. Some people are dating to just have some. Some people are getting married just to say they get married. I'm talking to the people today to ask y'all, what's your thoughts on marriage today? Is it an old concept? Or do you think today dating is, full of perks? I'm glad I see people just now tuning in. Shout out to my man down bottom right here. You know what I mean? Sip and Spin. Shout out to Sip and Spin. You know what I mean? Mr. Gordon Johnson. Anybody wants to come on the panel and have this discussion, let's have this discussion. Today, in this day and age in dating, it's very careless. And I think that marriage is beginning to become an old concept where people are not striving for the same things anymore. There might be a good man out there who wants to get married, and he might think that the woman that he's chasing or the woman that he's looking for. I'm not saying she's not out there. I'm just saying right now, being that marriage is changing the way that people feel, it's an old concept. Some of the traditional things that you get married for, people are not getting married for no more. Now it's all about, money, business, what they call it, financial security. Women are getting married for financial security. It has nothing to do with love, because the woman feels, hey, I'll give me a nice, handsome man. He have his finances in order. That means I get to drive his car, spend his money. He's going to buy everything for me, and she doesn't have to do anything. It's cut, made out. It's a cookie sheet marriage. You know what I mean? It's like, everything she loves about him, maybe it checks her boxes for different reasons than she checks his, or he checks hers. You know what I mean? He's looking at her, for whatever reason. Most men right now don't want to get in no relationship or have any children at the moment because old concepts. Like, if I had kids, I'm going to be trapped. She's only going to use me to get, my finances, or, make me belong to her forever. There's no team. There's no team there. So yeah, I see a couple of y'all dropping in and then, logging out. You know what I mean? We're gonna we get into it. You know what I mean? We got a nice conversation going on here. I think that most of you right now should just, go ahead and send me a voice clip right now on your thoughts. You know what I mean? Shout out to Spinonymous. You know what I mean? I don't know if you saw the title of this conversation here, but let me know your thoughts on it. Do you think marriage today is an old concept? Being that dating is careless now. I don't think people date the same way they did when we were proposing to women and, taking women out to eat and spending money on them and telling them we love them, we love them, we love them. If you were one of those guys, that's considered a bad thing now, because the gentleman is no longer a gentleman. He's considered a simp. And the guys that don't do any of this stuff, they don't give the woman flowers, they are the ones right now that's winning, because they don't have any obligations. The only thing they come over to do is give them the HD, the high definition. You know what I mean? That's it. That's all they there to give. You know what I mean? HD. You know what I mean? And for the women out there, I don't know why they would take offense to such a topic as we have this morning, but I kind of could see. But you know what I mean? Y'all got to just be honest, ladies. You know what I mean? You're not marrying people for the right reasons these days. If any woman come up on a panel today, or anybody wants to say anything today in this discussion, one thing I will say is, what's the reason you're getting married, or are you married? And what was the reasons you married your significant other? You give me, the political correct version of it, but then for the ones that have been divorced and for the ones who haven't found their husband yet, I'm just dying to hear people's thoughts on this. Do you think marriage is an old concept? And what's your thoughts on dating right now? Because people don't care about your feelings. They could be dating you, right? And remember, I'm saying dating. I didn't say fucking or screwing. I said dating. So if I'm dating someone, does that mean I can only see the one person, or does that mean I can go see multiple people? Some people would call that being careless if I'm talking to more than one person dating. But if you're dating, I think that's what you're supposed to do. It's just like when you're going shopping. What are you shopping? I don't know. I'm just seeing what I need for the house. And I think that the two are like, well, that's just my thought. But I don't want to ramble. I'm looking for people who wants to call in and who wants to say some things. So what's up, Stereo? This is the lunch hour. I'm sitting here with my coffee and I have my Dutch. I think we got a message in the queue. We're gonna go ahead and play that. You know what I mean? This one comes from Spanonymous. See what Spanonymous has to say.
I think in general, I agree that dating is careless for most people, but because they just do it. Like most people just date to date, and I hate that. So I don't date at all. But I think marriage is not an old concept. It's just evolved into something that is not really worth anything. Like I'm pretty sure back in the day, like when these women were like, "Oh, we're getting married, we're engaged," like women were jealous because they wanted to have someone that they loved too. Like getting married back then meant you can now start your family, and like that's the whole point. Now, getting married just means you get to have a cool wedding, and then you get to go on a cool honeymoon. Like that's all they care about. They don't care about the love or the relationship part. They care about the cool things you can do after that. The cool baby shower you can have when you have a kid, not the actual child or the actual marriage or relationship.
Spanonymous, I thank you for that. I totally agree. A lot of people argue with that, but again, perfect case in point. It's people who fall in love with just the idea of all the cool stuff you get to have. Oh well, and then it's like, all right, now this is the part that gets me. It's like, okay, let's just say your marriage doesn't work out. Now you have to start all over with someone else, and you claim the love, and you're gonna have another wedding, another baby shower, and let's just say that doesn't work out. Then everything goes sour again, and you're back to square one. But all the cool things you got to get through, you have a whole memory of photos, a photo album full of start overs and great baby showers and weddings, and you have the kids, and the kids grow up, and then the routine keep continuously getting re-practiced. They practice every day. We're gonna try to outdo the last thing that we were involved. I think dating today is careless too, in so many ways, because there's women out here who just don't care. And there's guys who don't care. It's like, hey, I'm just looking for the next hot chick. I'm not here for the wedding. I'm not here for the wedding bells. All of that stuff is just. And another thing I want to say, it's very careless, because you could date someone today, right? Find out she's twerking on Instagram or TikTok or whatever tomorrow. and her undies. But you see her at work every day and she's dressed very professional. And she's a wife. Now, for the husbands that are out there that's married that have women in these scenarios, I don't know how you feel when you go to work, but I can relate to how you should feel if you was able to, if you're witnessing your wife doing these things. There are women who, professional by day, take care of home and everything, but at nighttime, she's twerking on TikTok, Instagram, opening her legs, showing how flexible she is. But she wants to get married, or she's letting everyone know there's a problem in the relationship because she's on there every night. So looks like we got some more messages in the queue. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Do you think marriage today is an old concept, and being that dating is careless now? Do you think? Love to hear from you. We're gonna bring in Shane Smith right here. We got Shane Smith with us right here. How you doing there, brother?
What you saying, player?
Oh man, I'm maintaining, man. It's the lunch break special, man. I felt like we had to ask this question. Do you think marriage today is an old concept, being that dating is careless now? What's your thoughts on that?
Wait. Say that again.
Do you think marriage today is an old concept, being that dating is careless now?
It's not. Oh, whoa, that's a loaded question. Hold on now. Give me a second to think about this. Marriage is not an old concept, I don't think. Dating. What was it? Dating is what?
What is dating?
Carelessness.
Dating is carelessness. I don't think. Okay. Now, let me break it down, because you asked a loaded question, so let me break it down. I don't think marriage is an old concept. I think marriage is a concept that, because of how we've evolved in society, marriage is not a lucrative concept. It used to be a lucrative concept decades, centuries ago, but marriage is no longer a lucrative concept. So I'll say that. Dating, I don't believe is carelessness, but as far as it's what it went from, if dating was, I don't even think dating was allowed. 200 years ago, I don't think dating was a thing. To what it's become now, it's careless only because people date. There are some people, some people date without expectation. Meaning, if I, for whatever reason, I'll go out with you, me personally, I'm going to date you with expectations. Expectations being that I'm going to go further than this one date. But there are too many people that go out or that date, quote unquote, people without expectation. The only expectation is sex. That's it. I don't date like that. I never, if I'm with a woman, I never think short term. I think long term. And if I can't see anything coming out of us long term, I will break up with that woman. Full stop. Because I'm not going to waste my time. Go ahead.
And that's the point that we're saying here, because do you think marriage today is an old concept? In a sense, what you just said was, if you sense that it's not going to be a long-term thing with a female, you're going to break up with her. You're not going to stick around. You're not even trying to hear what she got to say.
I've only done that with one person, and that person ended up to be my son's mother. I looked in the future. I was able to look in the future with her, and all I saw was the only thing I saw with her was divorce. Literally. Like when I took stock of our relationship and took it to a decade from now, 2 decades from now, it was like the ultimate end for us was divorce. But I stayed with her to I wanted to defeat myself. That's why I stayed with her because I wanted to defeat myself. I want to say that I'm wrong, and we will actually have a lucrative relationship. We're not together. We're not together. So what I saw was factual. It would only end in divorce. We never got married, but it would only end in divorce, and that was I've been with other after her. There was only one other girl that I was with that I literally didn't see an end with her. So I was like, you should be my wife.
Okay, so
And
just so
hold
you're
on,
married now though, right?
no, 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 no. I never. That girl that I thought should have been my wife.
Yeah.
She left and never told me why she left. Never told me what the issue was with the relationship. She just said to me one day, "I'm not happy, so we're done."
And
So like,
just you
I'm
said that
sorry.
she said she was not happy, right?
Yeah,
And she disclosed that to you, right?
she only disclosed that to me on the day that we broke up.
Okay. So and again, and this is why I'm saying what we're saying the topic is today. Do you think it's an old concept? Because for women today, they get a pass to just they can say they can break up with you and divorce you just for a simple reason, like it got boring. She could tell you something like
And that's
it
that's
was
that's
boring.
that's that's kind of what she said. She said our relationship has become stagnant. I'm like, and I said to her, "What do you think a marriage is?" Because marriages become stagnant. Like marriages become routine. Like they really,
Yeah,
really do.
because marriage, like, everybody wants to be married but don't want to put the work in, and that's on both sides. A woman has to compromise with the man, a man has to compromise with the woman, but
But
no one
but
wants
but
to
well,
put the work in. It's long term, it's going to be tiresome, all of that. But
well, let me,
today, I don't
well,
think there's women
well,
equipped to be married today.
let me ask you a question then. Do you think married life is a boring life?
I believe that marriage is what you make it. It's going to be a boring life, of course. You know what I mean? But that's if you both don't have any vision of where y'all going. And that's just like sitting in the car watching the wall, like, or watching the steering wheel.
Even if you have vision of where you're going, even if you have vision of where you're going, like it takes years to get there. Like it takes a long time to get there, especially if you have kids. So like when she said to me, our life together is stagnant. I'm like, I said, like, it confused me because like I don't understand what you expect marriage to be. I'm I make enough money to support us. I make enough money to stash some away, and she was working as well. So like we make enough money to support us and stash some away, for a rainy day or whatever, whatever. But I was confused at what to, it was like when she said our life is stagnant. It was like to me, she wants to go traveling and do like all types of things. I'm like that's not necessarily what marriage is. Not necessarily. I mean, if I was making that kind of money, then that's a different thing. But that's not necessarily what marriage is. Marriage is marriage becomes boring.
Go down and get a marriage certificate with all of the information out here about marriage. There's no way you should be getting married nowadays. That's an old concept, man. What you do? Yeah, I'm just saying. With the way women are moving these days, very old concept. Dating's become something else.
I think
I don't want to
I
keep rambling on about it. I want to get
no
one
no I
second,
know
Shan.
I
I
agree
just
with
want
you.
to give
I agree with you.
Gabrielle has joined us and he has a message in the queue. I want to play
All
his
right,
message before we get to him.
all right, cool, cool, cool.
No, because um, marriage is pretty much showing that you love someone so much that you will stick for them with them for the rest of their life. So I don't think it is.
Can I speak on that, or you want to
Male
go?
feels they don't think it is an old concept because, like I said, it still means something to some people, but it's hard for the some people that still believe in marriage. It's hard for you to find the right person because those people probably feel like this is an old concept and they're not ready for it. It's just like not wanting to put in work. You get a new job and you get lazy on it. Like when you go to work, that's pretty much like a relationship. You go to work, you get
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
that can happen.
I
Um,
personally, I you, I believe in marriage, but I don't care if I get married anymore. I'm an old man. Like I'm an old man, so I don't care if I get married anymore. Um, there's been women that I've dated, and I said, if you want to get married, that's fine, but you got to propose to me because I, don't, I literally give negative fucks about marriage. Like I give negative fucks about marriage, so I can be with you for the next 40 years, right? But like as long as we both live that long. But I don't care about marriage. So she would have to propose to me for us to have a marriage. I'm not going to propose to her because I don't give a fuck about marriage anymore. Now, I was engaged twice. Those two times were when I still believed in the sanctity of being married. I don't care about marriage anymore because I'm an older dude, and it doesn't move me like it used to. Last
and
time I was
where you
married, I
from,
think
if you don't mind me asking, good brother? Where are you
I'm
from?
from, I'm from Canada.
Okay, now
Born and raised in
now
Canada.
we're in New Jersey and over here in America, in New Jersey.
That's 4 hours away from me. That's 4 hours away
Okay,
from me.
but
I can drive to
no,
you.
yeah,
I'm
but I'm
looking,
pretty sure the women in Canada are way different than the women here in the United States. And I'm not speaking for all of the women in the United States, but just the very few
well,
out here
well,
because,
well.
and
I realize that black women are very different in the U.S. to Canada because only me. I can only speak for me personally, mind you. Um, the black women that I know are from island descent. So even though they may have been born in Canada, their parents are from the Caribbean or Caribbean, however you want to pronounce it. So their parents are Jamaican, Trinidadian, Guyanese. That's and so and then they have children that are born in Canada, so they're Canadian because they're born in Canada, but their lineage is, as I said, Trinidadian, Jamaican, Gaysian, Bayesian. Barbados is Bayesian. From things of that nature. So I, but in when it comes to um, United States women, they could all be like 4 or 5 generation black women in the United States. So it's a very, very, very different thing. It's a very different thing because I'm dating like first generation. Yeah, I'm dating first generation Canadian black women, while you have to deal with fourth generation United States black women. So it's literally a very, very, very different thing because their values are of the old school, and I like the old school values. The girls
yeah,
that
I
I'm
think
dating, but
yeah, I like the old school vibe. That's the
but,
type of women I would like to date
yeah,
is
but
the old
yeah,
school vibes.
but the American black woman that's like 4 generations in, they don't have them rules and them values no more. So it's a completely different thing. And I honestly think that's the problem with American women, be them black, white, or whatever. They lose their culture and adapt to a culture that doesn't benefit them.
It actually benefits them, but it just shows them a different way of
No,
benefiting
no,
from
no.
it. The,
It
the, the,
benefits
the
me.
moral
It
values of the
be-
benefit are no longer, they're non-existent now. Women
the-
they're like, well, it ain't about love. It's about what he could do for me. It's not about if I care about him. It's about if he cares about me. You know, that's how
okay.
women thinking it today. So, and this is what I was saying earlier in our discussion. I said, when women today are in marriages that they don't want to be in, and at nighttime they're professional by day, they're the great wife at home, and for the kids, but at nighttime they're on TikTok and Instagram. They're half dressed, they're
Well, well,
twerking,
well,
they showing
let
off
me
everything,
let
and
me
they it's no communication. It's boring.
let me speak on that for a second. I hear what you're saying.
Well,
I'm
you
not
leave
I'm
it
not
alone.
I'm not going to disagree with what you're saying, but it's I mean, once again, it's a loaded question. So, women think, okay, men, you're a man, you and I are men. So let me ask you a question first, and I'll go on with what I'm saying. But I want to ask a question first. Do you care how much money your wife makes?
I could care less about what my wife's make.
And,
I'm a
and that's
because let me say
no,
this
no,
too,
no, hold
and the
on,
reason
that's
why I say
men.
this,
That's men. But
and the
that's
reason
men. You
why I
don't have
say
to.
this is because
No,
if I'm a
no,
provider and
no,
we're a team, it doesn't matter what
exactly.
either one of us makes.
Exactly. So you're a man, so you don't have to explain to me. Whatever money a woman makes does not is completely irrelevant to us. As long as I can do what I need to do as a man for you, that's that's where I am, and that's where most men are. I don't give a fuck about how much money you make. I don't really give negative fucks about how much money you make, because and I think it literally goes back to um, how we used to be. And I mean that to say the wife used to be in the house, the man used to make the money, and that was it. That was your life. He goes out, he works 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours a day. He comes home, um, you smash, you have kids, you stay home, you look after kids, and he goes back to work. Rather rinse and repeat, and that's all. That's what it was at one point. Now women want to work. Okay, fine. If you want to work, fine. I have no problem with that. I still don't give a fuck about the money that you make, because my money is going towards the bills. My money is going towards taking care of our children. My money, everything that's happening in the household is my money. So we don't care about how much money a woman makes. We never have. I mean, I don't think we ever will, because that's what is. Um, there are only a very, very few men that are stay-at-home husbands. Very few men. Very few. If you want to talk about stay-at-home spouse, from woman to man, it's like 97% women, 93% men. There's very few men that are actually stay-at-home husbands. Even though they don't care about the money that you're making, they depend on it. Know what I mean?
Yeah, facts.
Yeah. So a stay-at-home
I
husband
agree.
doesn't care about how much money you're making, but they need to depend on it, because they need to make sure that everything is taken care of. But
And
just
yeah, and most
switch.
women want to make sure that they're taken care of. Like I said, we got to a selfish state,
Yes, you're exactly right. Yes, they
and
care about
women
themselves more
women
than they care
today are
about
so
whatever.
pampered by it. So we got a couple
Um,
messages in the queue. Let me get to these messages real quick, and
hold
shout
on.
out to everybody listening. If
Before you get to the
anybody wants to
messages,
come to the panel, feel free to join the panel. But we're gonna jump to these
before
messages. This
no,
is from Shay.
let me say this
What's
before
going
you.
on with y'all? What's going on with y'all? Just stepped in
Oh
the room. What's
man,
going on, Chill? And what's going on, Shane Smith? Do you think marriage today is an old concept, being that dating is careless now? Dating is careless to a lot of people, you know what I mean? But not to some people. I mean, I'm married, and I don't think it's an old concept. I mean, to me, I feel you have to get married, or not you have to get married, but it's a good thing to get married because you want a union with that person. You know what I mean? You want to make a family. You want to do something like that. The sad thing today is Everybody wants to have their cake and eat it too. They want to sleep with people and then, sleep with another set of people and, you know what I mean, not be tied down and all that other shit. So I think the concept of relationships is fucked up these days, but not marriage. Although, some people have this really fucked up perception of what marriage is, so it's all whatever. But I'm listening.
And I want to say to Shay, man, Shay, shout out to you and your significant other, man, because you said something that's key. You know what I mean? Y'all married,
No,
and
I know.
it's not an old concept for the two. When you find that person, it's not an old concept. If you find that person, or if you're already in a great union, it's
If
only
you
an
find,
old concept for the modern day person that thinks modern day this. So
it's
I just wanted to say that.
it's no. I don't
We
think it's
got
an
more
old
messages here.
concept.
We got one from a dad of the Torah.
But, okay,
We're gonna play his, and then we're gonna get right
What's up,
back
Shane?
into it.
Chill. Hope you're doing well today. I think people have gotten confused the marriage in the courts and the marriage of the heart. I think we should consider what marriage will be like without the courts in our house. Like, I get the desire to have children. I get the desire to be with the person that you love, your partner. But, marriage doesn't necessarily have to come in play for all that to exist. So I think people get a little confused about that.
That's a great point right there too. Shane, you got
can
the
can
floor,
I speak
brother.
on that?
I don't want to take
Can,
up any more of that. I just wanted to get the messages out the way, and then just continue on
well,
with discussion. Shout out to everybody in the room again, man. I appreciate y'all input. Let's continue.
can I speak on that for just please? Can I speak on that for a second? I have a child with a woman that I was never married to. Now, marriage was talked about. We were actually engaged at one time, her and I. We just never got married because she wasn't the right person for me. And the only thing I regret our relationship, her and I, but I don't regret my son at all. My son is the greatest thing I've ever had. So, you know, it, it's, hmm, it's a subject that's really hard to talk about. Dating being careless and marriage being is a very, for me anyway, it's a very touchy subject. I wanted to marry her, but after X amount of time that I was with her, I was like, not only are you not wife material, you're not a person I should stay with for the rest of my life. Because she was the only word I can use is mean. She was mean to me. She was very, very mean to me, and she spoke very, very down towards to me. I'm like, I don't want to be with you because you don't treat me well. And sometimes it takes a long time to realize that. So I can't say dating is irresponsible because you should date to find out what the person is. And I don't think marriage is an old concept. I think it's an old concept to the expectation that you don't need to get married to prove your love to somebody. Yeah,
I
I
agree
mean,
with that. You don't. If you want to say it that way, you don't have to get married to prove your love to somebody, but in this
she
day
does.
and age
Yeah.
today, like if she's going to inherit anything, you have to be married. So I just
I,
think today we're everyone's spoiled when it comes to
well,
relationship.
as I said, at the age I'm at right now, if I meet a woman who wants to get married, fine. But you got to propose to me because I got to propose because I don't give a fuck. Like I give negative F. Like I give negative F if we're married
So
or not.
let me just say this too. Let me just ask you this question since you said that.
All
Now,
right, all
I'm
right,
hearing a lot
all
of
right.
brothers today saying like, "Yo, I'm not getting married again," and this is from failed marriages and failed relationships that we develop this thinking, right? So we're saying, "Hey, if I'm gonna do it this time, she has to propose to me, right?" And
Mm-hmm.
let's just say your woman hypothetically proposes to you, right?
I'll tell you why,
And
but go ahead. Go ahead. But I'll tell
no,
you
I would
why.
love to hear your answer, but she proposes to you,
Mm-hmm.
and at some point in the relationship, it's some things that kind of turn you off about her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How do you handle that? And we got some messages in the queue, but I'm just
Well,
dying to know how you handle it.
I will answer that. If she proposes to you, then you know she ain't leaving. She ain't going nowhere if she proposes to you. So, because men are supposed to do the proposing, right? But she may have next man on the side. There was a story I heard 2 months ago. Man married his wife, and they were married for 30 years, I believe it was. They were married, and she died. And my man found out that she had a 28-year-long affair with not just one man, but with multiple men. She was cheating on her husband with after when they were married for 30 years. Hold on, let me go. I'll let you speak, but let me finish. 30-year marriage, 28-year affairs, plural. My man found out he had 4 children with this woman. He found out none of them were his. Not only were none of them his, none of them were siblings. I'm sorry, none of them were related. So she had 4 children with her quote unquote husband. None of them were his biological children, and none of them were biologically related. So she literally got pregnant by 4 different men. Literally got pregnant by 4 different men during her 30-year relationship. And then you want to come and ask me if marriage is an outdated concept? Yes. when I hear shit like that, yes. But she has to propose to me because
I got that. Let's get these messages
hold
real quick.
on. Let me just say this and I'll let you go. If she proposes to me, I would not expect her to have pitney for different mans. If she proposes to me, and I think that's the main difference. She wants to commit to me. So they say that women hold access to POM, and men hold access to relationships and marriage. If she actually proposes to me, it is fact. So, but if she proposes to me, then I know. Because if I'm already if I'm already strapped in to the driver's seat, if I'm already there, and she proposes to me, then I know I know you ain't going nowhere.
Let's get to these messages because they're piling up on us real quick. So we're gonna go to Steve Strange, and we're gonna go on down.
Go ahead.
So, like for me, I know that like marriage or any relationship that's going to work takes time, takes working at it, and everything today is kind of instant gratification. You scroll on your Instagram feed or you scroll on TikTok and you get a video, then you get another video, you get another video. Instant gratification. There's no instant gratification in marriage. It's something you have to constantly work at. So if kids today are brought up thinking like, oh, I can just get another hit of satisfaction, just scrolling, swiping, it's not going to do well inherently for marriage as a whole. Just my opinion.
Well,
hang on, hold your thoughts. We got more messages. We're gonna go to Shay Gibbons Griff.
I will say this much about when you're married and you start finding shit that you really don't like about the person. Figure out if it's like just some kind of superficial shit you can like look around, because trust, I've been married to my wife for 4 years. But, prior to that, we were together for 8 years, living with each other, pretty much like under that common law marriage shit, where if you live with somebody for long enough, like, you're pretty much married to them. So, yeah, we worked with each other and lived with each other. But when I started having problems, like, shit I just didn't like about her, I would address it in some type of way to her, like, hey, look, boo, you do some shit that, like, I just kind of don't like, da-da-da-da-da. And, she, in time, tailored those things, or I don't want to say tailored, but she fixed it, you know, to the best of her ability because she knew it was irking me and she wanted to make me happy and have our relationship grow.
Yeah. Can I speak on that, or you want to play more messages? Because I really want to speak
Yeah,
on that.
we got like one more now. This is from Teddy right here, and
Okay,
we'll
okay,
get back
all
to
right.
you.
Let me speak on that, please.
I mean, you can call it a
Uh,
concept because it's been around for
oh
many,
no.
many years, but it does depend on the man and the woman and their relationship. It can be a beautiful thing. You saying dating is careless now, I guess. Yeah, everybody want to be even, and doing things that certain genders do, there's repercussions for. So be careless all you want, man. And get too many miles in that monkey when you get older. Everybody won't want it.
Wrong, I really didn't understand anything that he said.
Let me see if we can play it one more time because I know there's a lot of
Go
noise
play it.
right there.
Go
But
ahead, play
I'm
it one
going to
more
play
time
it.
because I didn't understand anything that
Also on top of that, like I said, sometimes you just gotta let that shit go as best as possible. You know, sometimes it's just a moment, you know, in your relationship. Sometimes it could really be something that's just like continuously going on, and you're like, yo, I really can't stand this shit about her. But if you really love them, you're gonna be able to look past it or find some way to, like, you know what I mean, work with it. But the best thing is communication. I will say, out of the 11 years I've been with this lady, like, bruh, like 11, 12 years, bro, like I love her so much. Like, I will make things happen. You know what I mean? But we always need to communicate with each other so we can figure out where we're coming from.
That's a big thing right there, man. I'm glad he said that. You know what I mean? Because communication is huge in this day and age on dating, on marriage. How can you be married to somebody you can't communicate with? How
Yeah,
could you date a
no,
woman that you can't communicate with? You
and
know,
that's
this is
that.
real spill we talking about right here. You know what I mean? We're not getting
Well,
out here just nobody wants
that
to date anybody. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to marry anybody. You know, he said he was with his wife 8 years before they got married,
but
so they had to work at it. You know what I'm saying? And the 3 years that they're married, like he said, he would do whatever he has to do for her. So that's traditional right there. That's a traditional marriage right there in my book. You know,
now
but
now
that
with my ex fiance, when she came to me and said she was unhappy, there was literally no communication. So eventually, after tears and whatever, I said, what was wrong with our relationship? And because she never communicated with me that she was unhappy. She just came to me one day and said she's unhappy and we're done. And so, like, after the aftermath is me saying what was wrong, and then she said, well, this, that, and the other. I'm like, but you never spoke to me. You never came at me and said, I'm unhappy about these things. So I never had a chance to possibly fix these things. I never had a chance to possibly save our relationship. You just came at me one day and said, I'm just not happy no more, so we're done. And so I've always said that communication is pretty much the standard, the staple of any relationship that you get in. Everybody needs to know what's going on. Everybody, needs to know what's going on and how the other party feels. And like I was talking to my sister the other day, and she was talking about her one man that she was with for the longest time they were together. And she said if it wasn't for his drinking and his physical abuse to her, they would still be together today. Because he was the greatest dude. He was the bestest dude for her. But she was like, yeah, if he didn't hit me and he didn't drink, we'd still be together today. And so she was actually able to express to him when they broke up why they broke up. My ex-fiance was never able to express to me why we broke up. She just said, I'm unhappy. I'm like, why are you unhappy? Like, what the fuck did I do? Or what did I not do? And she's like, I'm just unhappy. I'm like, that makes no sense. That makes no sense.
And it will never make sense, because these women are out there today. These are the lost souls you don't care to harness. You know what I mean? We got another message from Teddy. Let's
But
go
you
to Teddy
understand.
real quick.
All right.
Hey, bro, you just, my opinion, no disrespect to the bro, but it's good you ain't with that bitch. Because if she just hit 100 on you, don't give you no explanation, she already called that somebody else had somewhere else to land, and she kicked your ass to the curb because she was good.
Right. I couldn't really understand
Yeah,
that.
that's funny, man. You said if he didn't hit her, if he didn't drink. You know what they say about if. No, don't want nobody to get mad, but if my aunt had nuts, she'd be my uncle.
No. Okay, that dude's not hearing what I'm saying. He's not hearing what. No, hold on, but he's not hearing what I'm saying at all. My sister said if he didn't hit her and if he didn't drink, they'd still be together to this day. She's not saying that. She like his argument is completely different from what I'm saying. My sister said she would still be with her man, that man, to this day if he didn't drink and if he didn't hit her. No woman, in my opinion, should be with a man who hits them. So when he's talking about, whatever he's talking about if it's circumstantial, it's not fact. I get that, but her fact was, you actually do hit me, and you actually do drink, and those are two things that I can't deal with. That's why I'm leaving you. So him saying if being circumstantial, no, I'm saying if being fact. The fact is he did hit her and he did drink. And the fact is she would have stayed with him if he did not hit her and if he did not drink. So my if is fact.
Yeah,
If
he
he
got
stopped
another
drinking,
message for you. Hang on.
if he stopped, go ahead.
Nah, big dog, I heard you 100%, but I got daughters and sisters myself. So for you to say take out this bad thing and that bad thing, he'd be great. It's like saying, okay, he just kills motherfuckers on every other Thursday. But go ahead and let it ride, man. It'll be all right. Nah, I understood you crystal clear, man.
I didn't understand what he
Not
said.
want to promote no violence, Mr. Chief Givens, girl, sir. But I tell my daughter with a registered gun, the motherfucker put his hands on you, dog his ass.
Did you hear what he said?
Yeah, you couldn't. I heard it perfectly clear. I mean,
Okay.
what did
Tell
you
me
hear?
what he said.
Because
No,
I mean,
I didn't hear him. So tell me what he said.
I'm gonna ask him to come to the panel, Mr. Ted. You know what I mean? If you want to just come up for the panel for a minute, because
Yeah, no, I didn't understand what he said. So if you can tell me what he said, but yeah, you can invite him to the panel. It's fine.
yeah, I heard him perfectly fine, man. Like you said,
I
if
did
a
not.
man,
I did
he
not.
tell his daughter
Um,
if a man put his hands, he dog his ass out. Like I don't see nothing wrong with it. I tell my daughter the same thing. You know?
my sister could handle herself, but I mean, it is what it is. He put his hands on her multiple times, and she kept going back until the last day when she was done. And I, but she also said like when they were good, they were fantastic. When they were good, when they were bad, he was horrible. She wasn't. I know my sister, and she can hold her own verbally. Like she can tongue lash anybody. Like she can tongue lash anybody. But
Yeah,
physically, I mean, a man's just stronger than a woman. It is what it is. And
yeah.
so if it got physical,
Hello, fellas.
he
Mr. Chill,
would
Mr.
Yeah,
Chief. Man, put your
we got brother
put your
Ted
hammer.
joining us right now. Teddy, what's going on, brother?
Man, what's up with y'all, man? Y'all good?
Everything all good, man. All love,
yeah,
man.
but
I'm glad you joined the panel, man.
Okay, I
I just
definitely
want to
appreciate
say
it, man.
I just want to finish my point, and then I'll let anybody go. I said verbally she can tongue lash anybody, but physically, he would be physical on her and hurt her, damage her physically. And
We got
so
feedback coming through, Shane. You might have to
that
turn
was
something down.
sorry.
No, we just heard some feedback coming out while you were talking.
Yeah, I hear it too. I'm not sure if it's mine. I can't. Oh no,
I'm just
I
gonna
can.
ask everybody to mute the mics while I'm gonna mute mine while we're talking, just so we can hear you properly. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, no, yeah, this is better. So, my her boyfriend, she said they were great, and as I said, my sister can verbally lash anybody, but he would get physical, and that was the only thing she said to me. That was the only thing that killed the relationship. The fact that he put his hands on her, and but other than that, they were great. And I saw that I never saw him put his hands on her, but I saw the two of them together. They were together for like 8 years, the two of them. His children loved her. Like, oh my goodness, his children loved her so much. It got to a point. You know, I'm not gonna go. Hold on. I'm not gonna go into that. I wanted to
Hey,
go.
Shane,
I'm gonna let
just
it
mute
go.
your mic,
No,
and we're gonna
I'm
let
gonna let
Teddy.
him
Teddy
go.
got something he want to say.
All I'm saying, I'm gonna let him go. I just want to say that I'm done with my point because I was going to go on to other things. So I'm gonna mute my mic. You can go. Decide. Go ahead.
Okay, definitely appreciate it, boss. I guess me being a father, grandfather, husband, got daughters, got granddaughters. When you say, he was a good guy, but he only did this, it really threw me off because I had that happen in my family, and I went up there and I knocked the dude out as soon as I hear about it. Some women get emotional damage, whether they think they love the dude or they scared of him, don't want to be by themselves, whatever their rationale is, it's just, that's not a fucking option for me. I don't want to hear about you drinking and you putting your hands on my daughter. I'm a 6 foot, 230-pound brother, and you do that with my folks, I'm gonna be to see you, son. So when you say it, it's kind of
Well,
like he's really. Hold on, wasn't finished, sir. When you tell me that he's good despite that, the first thing pop in my mind is what the fuck is on your mind? If he drinks and hits somebody, fuck the good that you do, because your bad outweigh the fucking good. So that's why I had a little situation like, what the fuck are you talking about, son? Fuck that nigga. You hear me?
can I
Oh yeah,
respond?
yeah.
Can I respond?
Yes, sir. Y'all let me finish first, though, boss. Just like I let you finish. Thank you.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Are you done, or you got something to say still? I'm sorry.
No,
I'm done.
Shane,
I'm
just
done.
mute your microphone for a second, so we can make sure we hearing what Teddy saying. Just
No,
mute your microphone.
I did. I muted my mic to hear him.
Yeah, and
If
I'm gonna
he,
mute mine as well.
Okay. All I was really, I guess, saying was that when he was like, he's a good guy outside of his drinking and hitting my sister, I would never have them words in my mouth once you put your hands on my sister or my fucking daughter. Fuck the good that you do. That shit is irrelevant. You drinking and you putting your hands on a female, you a sucker ass dude. So I don't give a fuck about what good you do, because your bad is really bad. It's damaging. You a woman abuser physically. You a sucker. So I don't give no sucker ass niggas no credit or no props. That's the only disagreement I have with you. I don't care about what the fuck good he do. Fuck that dude. And maybe your sister got her head beat in if she ain't seeing straight. Tell me he's so good outside of this, bitch, you crazy. He drinks and hits you. He gonna kill your dumb ass one day. You stay there long enough. That's my
can I
2 cents,
can I
big homie.
oh, can I speak on? Can I respond to what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Firstly, I didn't know that he was putting his hands on her. Secondly, I'm her little brother, and I ain't a 6 foot, 230-pound dude, right? So
A pistol
there's not a
gun
lot
in
I
your
could
hand.
Your
do
brother
to
don't
this
have
dude.
nothing to do with nothing. They make
Hey,
guns.
right. Right, a pistol weigh 3 pounds. I just put that out there. Physically, I'm gonna fuck him up. I'm
Okay,
gonna
all
put
right,
both feet in him. But
all
I'm gonna
right,
get you.
all right. Okay,
I'm gonna
okay,
get you a
okay, okay.
3 pound pistol, and then you good to
But
go.
okay,
I don't
all
worry
right,
about no
no, okay,
size.
okay, all right, fine, fine. But once I did not know what she was going through, um, until she told me, and then when she told me it was way after they had already broken up. One, two, she's my older sister. I'm not her older brother, so it's not necessarily, and I'm a way younger brother.
Hey,
So
what
it's
the hell
not
is that?
necessarily my job to protect her because I'm her way younger brother.
Hey, that's some sucker ass shit. Your job as a man is to
What
protect
do you
you and
mean?
your
What do you mean?
family.
What
What
do
you
you
talking about?
mean?
Man,
What do
you
you
crazy. Your
mean?
job ain't to
Oh,
protect your
hold
girl
on,
and your
hold on,
family.
no,
Hey,
no,
what's
no,
wrong
no,
with
no,
you?
no,
Smack
stop, no,
clown
no,
looking
stop,
ass
stop,
nigga.
stop. If she,
Yes,
no,
sir.
no, if she's 15 and I'm 10, how would you know if she's 15? If she's 15 and I'm 10, how am I supposed to protect her? I'm 10 years old. She's 15. That's what I'm saying. Like I can't protect my older sister. I can't until I'm grown. Until I'm a grown ass man, I cannot protect her.
Let me ask you
What
this. I get where Teddy coming from, but
Go ahead,
let me ask you
go
this, Shane. Shane,
ahead. Yeah, I'm
at
listening.
your age now, can you protect your sister if her life was in
Yes,
danger?
yes, and I have. Yes, and I
Eh,
have.
Okay, now
Yes,
when
and
you
I
were
have.
10 and she was 13, you felt like it
15,
wasn't anything you could do?
15. When I'm 10, okay, and she's messing with dudes who are 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's
Yeah.
nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do to them. They're 5 to
And you know what? Hey,
10
Shane,
years.
you got all the
They're
excuses in
5
the
to 10
world
years
of what
above
you
me.
can't do, but you
I
ain't
can,
telling me what you can do.
I can
You
step.
ain't
I
got
can
no
step.
gun. You ain't got no
Hold on.
stick. You ain't got no gun.
Hold on.
Yes, sir.
I can step in their face and they'll box me one time and I'm done. And I'm out for the count. They box me one time, I'm out for the count. So when I was
Listen, that ain't
10,
an excuse.
no, I
Take your
couldn't.
knockout like a man.
At my age right, now, I will knock any other motherfucker out who tries to mess with my sister.
Well, Shane, it counted when you.
I'm sorry?
It counted when you was 10, brother. That's when you should have showed the fuck up.
Wait. I didn't hear what you said. What you said? Say it one more time.
He said you
I
should
said
have showed up when you was at 10, man. You know what I mean? At 10, you should have been able to defend.
No. As I said, even if I stepped in a man's face at the age of 10, they could just box me one time and I would be down to the count.
So what?
So,
All that goddamn whining. So what? Take your knockout like a man. I want to hear that weak ass shit
okay,
you talking about.
okay, if I take that as a man, as you're saying, how will I can't defend my sister?
Well, hey, let me get back to the subject, man. Hey, Shane, Ted, let me
You're
ask you a
being
question.
absurd.
Let me ask,
You're being absurd.
Yes, sir.
now I want to ask Ted, what's your thoughts on marriage today, man? Is it an old concept, being a date is careless today? What's your thoughts?
Nah, man, I believe if you find a real good one, man, that's about some foundation, that's how the circle of life stays in rotation. Because dating ain't nothing but an empty thing. Usually kids made out of it, bad situations at home. I'm an older dude, so I say if you find you a bad one, a good one, loyal one worth keeping, hell yeah, it's worth it, bro. I've been married 18 years. I got a bad motherfucker in the house. You dig? So I'm all for it if you find the right one. But y'all generation a little different. 'Cause a lot of these girls hoes, man. The body counts be real high because they like, I can do what a man can do. I feel bad for y'all, because these young niggas, these young girls, man, wide open. But if you find a good
You're
one,
Facts,
just
made
take time
for
to talk to them, man.
18 years. Good for you, man. Really good for you.
facts.
Yeah, so
We got another guest joining. We got Taco Bella.
Uh,
how you doing,
What's
young
up?
lady?
Welcome to the show. Welcome. You got anything to share with us?
no, I'm just listening.
What's your thoughts on the topic? Do you think marriage
Hold
today
on.
and the whole concept being a dating is careless now?
I have ridiculous um echo. I'm gonna drop off and then invite me back because I really gotta go because I have ridiculous echo. Right? Wait, it's gone. Oh, it's you. Chill. It's you. You're my echo because you muted
Nah,
and it's
it's
gone.
not me, not me at all. I just put mine on so everybody can have clarity
Oh
when
no,
speaking.
yeah, no. I'm clear right now. I don't hear no echo. So if it's not you, then it's probably Teddy. Cause like I'm
Well,
so clear right now.
Teddy got it under control. He got the mute on, so we're gonna ask Taco Bella her thoughts on the topic.
Okay, all
Is there
right, yeah,
anything you want to share?
I'm so clear.
Do you think
I'm so
marriage
clear
today
right
is
now.
an old concept? Do you think dating today is careless? Taco Bella, what you think?
My opinion is, can you guys hear me? Can y'all
Yes,
hear me?
Yeah, we
yes,
can
Okay.
hear you.
yes,
Fine,
yes.
fine, yeah, fine.
So my opinion is that I don't think it's an old concept or it's careless. I think people are in an age where they don't really know themselves. So we're just finding people off based on how they look, not about what we look inside ourselves to find in somebody else. So I think that's like the main problem. If that answered the
If,
question.
if I can respond one time, right quick. I've heard this saying, and it shouldn't be a saying. It really shouldn't even exist. But I heard this saying where women say to other women, "The first marriage is for love." Oh no, I'm sorry. The first marriage is for money. The second marriage is for love. And so it's like they are looking to get married more than once, and I'm not on that boat. Like that shouldn't a saying like that should never exist. Marriage is supposed to be for life. It's supposed to be.
I,
So
I never
it
heard
shouldn't be
that.
like
I've never
the
heard that
first.
saying before.
Oh, you never heard that? I've heard that. The first marriage is for love. The second one, I'm sorry. First marriage is for money. Second one is for love. So you
It's
marry
up to the
money
dude.
first. You marry
I
money
said it's up to
first.
the dude.
So
Hold on,
I'm
real
sorry.
quick, big homie. It's real quick. It's up to the dude. Because you should know if the bitch a gold digger on your money when you courting her. Unless you just some
But
green and bewildered. Hold on.
yo,
Bewildered,
yo,
ignorant,
yo,
stupid.
yo,
How the hell you, hold on,
yo.
bro. How the hell you ain't gonna know a girl for you or for your money? That means you slipping
But
on your shit. Don't blame the girl because she ain't
no,
know.
no, no. Some of them are really good actresses, yo. Some of them are
I'm not saying
really
all
good
of them are supposed to
actresses.
be better. Hold on, you the movie director. Don't care how good they act.
Turn it up. This is a
First fam radio premiere.
exclusive.